Evolution of sleep and its effect on human cognition.
Oh man, I have so much studying to do for the final exam tomorrow. Thank goodness for coffee. This will help me stay up all night and study. Who needs sleep anyways? Sleep is for the weak.
Well, actually, we do need sleep. Studies suggest you need sleep to consolidate information and form new memories. Sleep is a perceptual disengagement and unresponsiveness to the environment, distinguished by physiologically defined patterns of brain and muscle activity. Give me 10 minutes of your time and I will explain it to you. Why do we sleep? How has sleeping evolved from our ancestral time? How sleep affects brain by discussing two theories, and finally, how modern day sleep patterns have changed.
Sleep. We close our eyes and daze off. Our heart rate slows down and we are less conscious of our surroundings, and that's when sleeping animals are more vulnerable to predators. And sleep is when animals have less time to search for food, to eat, to find mates, to procreate, and to feed their young. If this is the case, why do we spend 1/3 of our lives sleeping? Is this some kind of mistake, or does it serve an evolutionary purpose?
Let's look at sleep through an evolutionary perspective. 3 million years ago, our ancestors had ape-like bodies and slept in trees, similar to modern-day chimpanzees. They slept on trees to fend off predators such as insects, large cats, and other wild animals. This changed over time. 2 million years ago, hominins became fully upright. They spent life on the ground and may have been the first hominins to make beds. Remains of living species from 8000 BC, unearthed by archaeologists in southwestern Texas, indicate the earliest draft beds made by humans were ground-based nests. Early humans stuffed grass and other soft materials into shallow pits near the walls of caves. If this is true, then this suggests that humans have been sleeping on the ground for a long time. David Samsung and Charles Nunn of Duke University in North Carolina suggest that sleeping on the ground may have been beneficial for the Homo erectus. Evidence suggests hominins may have had better quality of sleeping when sleeping on the ground. In addition, there are two theories that suggest that our ancestors slept the way they did because it served a purpose. According to the predator avoidance theory, we can understand why some animals sleep more than others. If an animal is a predator, it doesn't have to worry about being attacked while it sleeps, so it can sleep for long periods of time. So conversely, prey must spend as much time as they can to be awake in order to avoid predators. The energy conservation theory suggested that sleep ensures that animals stay still and out of predators when they have nothing better to do. So sleep is simply a way of wasting time. Siegel agrees with this view, saying that actually being awake and moving is more dangerous for prey as the animal is more likely to get injured. So for example, a smaller, more vulnerable animal is more likely to sleep more hours during the day to avoid danger.
So what's your point? What does this have to do with my test tomorrow?
Firstly, they did not have to worry about falling off the tree. Can you imagine falling asleep in a place where you would have to be fearful and alert for safety and well-being while you slept? That would really hinder the quality of sleep. Secondly, evidence suggests that the time hominins came down from trees correlates to intelligence among hominins increased, which resulted in them becoming smarter and having the cognitive ability to make better weapons. Because they were gaining better quality sleep, their brain activity may have improved. Finally, group sizes also increased at this time, which facilitated better weaponry and communication skills. The Australopithecines and early Homo sapiens demonstrated similarities. They both had light bodies and long arms, which indicates they must have slept in trees, which might have been safer but hindered further evolution. The demand for life on the ground caused a great shift in evolution. The tree-to-ground sleep transition allowed for height and weight increases. As mentioned earlier, sleep is a period which the mind and body replenish itself. The human circadian circuit works on a 24-hour cycle. Light enters through our eyes. Light rays are then processed and interpreted at the suprachiasmatic nuclei, which sends a signal to the superior cervical ganglia, which then alerts the pineal gland to either release or suppress melatonin. Have you heard of melatonin? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, of course. Melatonin is a hormone which plays an important role in our circadian cycle. Melatonin deficiency can be caused by lack of sleep or anything that disrupts sleep. An example of this is shift work, late nights, jet lag, alcohol, caffeine, exposure to light, particularly blue light, which is an electromagnetic wave, and also another function is the age that we are. When the suprachiasmatic nuclei detects light, it sends signals to the pineal gland to suppress the release of melatonin since light is associated to daytime, and a 24-hour circadian cycle is programmed so you sleep when it is dark and cool.
Sleep enables the body to recover from wear and tear by repairing cells and tissues that have been damaged throughout the day. From a biological perspective, sleep enables growth and development. It also helps with mental functioning, such as learning and memory. Therefore, from an evolutionary perspective, sleep helps to maintain the well-being of the mind and body for survival. Since hominins have relatively poor night vision, it might be better for them to be sleeping away out of harm's way rather than stumbling about, as mentioned in the predator avoidance theory. Dulog's and colleague theory of non-REM and REM work together in a complementary system. Non-REM sleep is the recovery phase and the REM sleep is the selection phase.
So you're telling me memories are stabilized and consolidated during sleep. And I just looked upon Google and found a study done by Winston in 1990 where he reasoned one purpose of REM sleep might be the strengthening and consolidation of visual spatial memories. So I guess you ladies are correct. So thinking about it, in terms of early hominins, increases in REM sleep due to nesting may have strengthened waking memories, such as the placement of something that is critical to survival. The hippocampus probably played a large role in consolidating skills such as nest building and tool building and use. Also, humans in developed worlds sleep in vastly different ways than our hominin ancestors slept.
Recall sleep is regulated by homeostatic and circadian mechanisms. Homeostatic meaning the less we get it, the more we need it. And by circadian drive, it means that as it gets darker, physiological mechanisms such as melatonin release are activated.
So, what's wrong with us? How does it make sense that we party all night and sleep at 2 a.m. and force our bodies to wake up at 7 a.m. to get ready for work? In accordance to that, there must be some downfalls towards our overall health, either mentally and or physically. Therefore, we must ask ourselves, are we setting ourselves up for cognitive decline? Are these behaviors adaptive or maladaptive? In developed worlds, sleep loss is linked to artificial lighting such as lights in our bedrooms. Why are we awake when it's completely dark outside? Isn't it supposed to be time to go to sleep? The flick of the light switch prevents us from sleeping, therefore leads to decreased hours of sleep. Research has found that exposure to blue light from smartphones to laptops and other electronics suppresses the production of melatonin more than any other type of light. This is because the body is more sensitive to the shorter wavelengths emitted by blue light. Not only does it have a direct link to decreased sleep, it also has secondary effects on mind and body as a result of sleep loss. Also, in the world we live in today, shift work has increased from 8% in 1980s to 22% in 2016 in the USA. This means more individuals are having to shift their sleep patterns, which impacts the circadian rhythm. The suprachiasmatic nuclei has to reset to adjust to the rapid change and shift in time, and this can cause an individual to have poor quality of sleep and can cause somatic challenges in individuals.
In a study conducted by Pitchler et al., they tested 48 healthy aged 21 to 31-year-old participants where they were given chronic restrictions to sleep for 14 days. And the results showed that chronic restriction of sleep to 6 hours or less per night for 14 days produced cognitive performance deficits equivalent to up to 2 nights of total sleep deprivation. It appears that even relatively moderate sleep restriction can seriously impair waking neurobehavioral functions in healthy adults. Sleep Sleepiness ratings suggest that subjects were largely unaware of these increasing cognitive deficits, which may explain why the impact of chronic sleep restriction on waking cognitive functions is often taken lightly. Subjects in the 4 hours sleep period condition displayed escalating numbers of lapses in behavioral alertness and decreasing cognitive accuracy and sleep across the 14 days.
Sleep disorders and chronic sleep can put you at risk for heart disease, heart attack, heart failure, irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, and even stroke. So it is important for survival to get adequate sleep that takes into account the physical and mental stress you have taken in the day. Sleep specialists say that sleep-deprived men and women report lower libidos and less interest in sex. Depleted energy, sleepiness, and increased tension may be largely to blame. For men with sleep apnea, a respiratory problem that interrupts sleep, there may be another factor in the sexual slump. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism in 2002 suggests that many men with sleep apnea also have low testosterone levels. So the less sleep you have, the less need for sex, which leads to the lessened chance of survival and reproduction. Therefore, sleep is vital to let off your offspring.
Okay, cool. You ladies have convinced me. I have learned that adequate sleep is very important for everyone's overall health function. So if we continue doing all these things that are not good for us, are we setting ourselves up for more future failure, such as lower fertility, increased mental illness, or even a decrease in cognitive function? And this is all due to the lack of sleep we are getting. So what does this mean for the future? And what way is the world going in respect to evolution? Therefore, here is something for you all to consider. There is no clear answer here, but based on this evidence, I would suggest that our fast lifestyles that are very stress-orientated has and will lead to an evolutionary crisis, meaning we will have not evolved due to all this technological suppression.